Okay, so let's go ahead and start going some more.
All right.
So we did one where we added two fractions with the same denominators, right?
Yes.
In fact, we subtracted actually, didn't we?
Briefly, we might have to do more.
So let's go ahead and do more then. Let's do example number 1. Ready? Let's turn down the lights. And let's do number 1. Okay, guys, quiet. Quiet down, okay? Ready? 1 over 12x plus 14 over 12x. Hey, guys, quiet.
Guys,
Quiet down. Ready? 1 over 12x plus 14 over 12x. So how do you add fractions? What's the first step you do when you add fractions?
denominator.
Common denominator. So these, yep, that's all good. So once you have a common denominator, then they join together in the same team, right?
Yes.
So they join together, and then you add the tops. So what's 1 plus 14?
15.
15, correct. So what the confusing thing that you might get confused with is you might think, why don't you add the bottoms together? Like, why don't you say 12 plus 12 is 24x? Why not?
You should tell her.
Why should you not add the bottoms together but only add the top? Because the top represents the quantity and the bottom represents the kind. So like if you have like 3 apples plus 2 apples, that's only 5 apples, right? You don't say it's like 5 apples, right? You don't add the word apple together, you just add the quantities together, right? So the bottom of a fraction is a type of fraction, the top of it's the quantity of it. So that's why you only add the top together, but you don't add the bottom. So 1 apple plus 14 apples is 15 apples. 1 over 112x's plus 14 12x's is 15 12x's. So we're done with that one. And then what's next? Let's try number 2.
Do we need to simplify it?
Wait, I didn't even think about that. Yes, you do. Yes, you have to simplify, my fault. Because it says simplify, so we're not done yet.
Yeah.
I started thinking about the apples too much. So how do you simplify 15 over 12x?
You divide by 3.
Okay, perfect.
I can't see Mr. Myers yelling though.
Mr. Myers would never.
He would never be like, you goodbye.
Don't worry.
So-
I'll be back.
Divide by 3, and then you get 5 over 4x. So the final answer is 5 over 4x. Now, oh wow, hooray. Walker's here. So let's see. Walker, Texas Ranger. Okay, perfect. Now, by the way, who's heard of the guy who's called, who's heard of the guy who played Walker, Texas Ranger? They like to make jokes about him, like how strong he is and stuff. Chuck Norris. Have any of you heard of Chuck Norris before? Okay, perfect. I'm glad. So 2 is x minus 8. By the way, if there's an earthquake, it's actually not really an earthquake, it's just Chuck Norris doing push-ups. Because when Chuck Norris does push-ups, he doesn't move, the earth just goes up and down.
Oh.
X over x minus 8 plus 6x minus 9 over x minus 8. So how do I add these fractions together? What's the first step? Make sure they have a common denominator. And if they do, then what happens? Then they're on the same team, and then you can just combine them into the same denominator, but only one of them instead of 2 of them because they're on the same team. And then you add the quantities on top together. So what is x plus 6x?
6x.
Where? 7x.
No, I lied.
7x. And then negative 9 is added to nothing. There's no other number with that negative 9. So doing a nothing plus negative 9 is just negative 9. So the answer is 7x minus 9 over x minus 8. And is there any way to simplify this? No, so you can just circle that, that's all.
Because it can't be simplified.
Yep, because it can't be simplified. And I know that I already did one question before, I think it was either 3 or 4. Does anybody remember whether it was 3 or whether it was 4?
We did.
4? I think it was 4.
We did a test question.
A test question, oh yeah.
So we haven't done 3 or 4.
So the test question that I did was, I think it was actually, oh yeah, you're right. It was, the test question we did was actually number 6. It was like number 6. It was really complicated one. So let's go ahead and do number, I'll let you pick. Do you want to do 3 or do you want to do 4?
3.
Okay, perfect. Good job. So make sure you're paying attention. This is your moment. This is your moment to shine.
All right.
X squared minus 2x divided by, did you know that sometimes I feel like how you do in your academics is actually blessed by God to help you do but well in your other areas of life as well. Did you realize that? One time I tutored this boy, and when he did bad in his math class, he did bad in basketball, but then when he did well in his math class, then he actually led the whole NCAA in 3-point shooting. He had like 44 3-point shots in a row that he made. X squared minus 2x, x squared plus 10x plus x squared plus x over x squared plus 10x. So first of all, what do you have to check first? Yep, common denominator, and we can check that off the list. So I'm gonna go to my special check mark button and do a green check mark next to that.
Beautiful.
Now I'm gonna go back to the regular button. And that means you can join them together into one team now. Like that. X squared plus 10x goes just once in the bottom, and you add the quantities on the top together. Because remember, whatever's on the top represents the quantities. Yep, correct.
Watch out.
So x squared plus x squared is 2x squared, and then what's negative 2x plus x?
Just a-
Thanks.
It's negative x, right?
Oh, you're.
Yep. Now what do you do next? You have to try to simplify it. So I see a common factor of x. So I'm going to factor a common factor of x from the top and also from the bottom. Like that. I'm going to try to factor out an x from the top and the bottom, like that. Perfect. Now what happens to the x and the x in the bottom? They cancel. And then you'll have to 2x minus 1 over x plus 10. And then that's the final answer because you can't cancel any more than that, right? Any questions about that?
You can't take out the 2 and the 10.
No, because, and here's why not, that the 2 can be taken out if it's in common. So like, if there's like an 8 right here, you need to factor 2 out from the 2 and the 8.
Okay.
But since that's a 1, there's no way to take out the 2 from the top. And if you can't take it out from the top first, then you can't cancel it out with the bottom.
Okay.
Correct. So let's look at number, do you want me to do number 4 or number 5 next? Yeah,
So I can know.
of course. Definitely.
I just like try to compare it to mine. Honestly, like.
Definitely.
Actually, orders asked you. Training rooms. I talked to the girl. Oh, really?
Okay. Hold on just a second. So let's do number 4 now, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Oh wait, did we do 4 already? Okay, sorry, my fault. So 5x divided by 7x minus 4 minus 4x minus 7 over 7x minus 4. So 5x over 7x minus 4 minus 4x minus 7 over 7x minus 4. There we go. Perfect. And then do they have a common denominator?
Yeah.
So we're just gonna join them together into one team. And then we have to, now the only difference is now we have to subtract the quantities on top. So to subtract the quantities on top. So if I have 5x minus 4x, how much is that?
1x.
1x? And if I have nothing minus -7, what's that?
-7.
Close, but it's a minus -7.
Oh, positive.
So it's positive, yep. There we go. It's really tricky. So one way of doing it, some people do it like this. Some people do it like this. They say 5x minus parentheses 4x minus 7 over 7x minus 4. And that way they can remember to distribute the negative, so it equals 5x minus 4x plus 7 over 7x minus 4. Sorry, whoops. There we go. Okay, perfect. So you want to do number 5 now?
No.
Okay, number 5. Ready? So remember, we're going to skip number 6 because we already did an example like number 6 last time. So pay really close attention to number 5 because this might be your last chance to see one like this. X squared minus 4 over x2 plus 4x minus 21 minus 38 minus x over x to the 2 plus 4x minus 21. Wow. So what do we have to do? What do we have to check first? Correct. Yeah. So is there a common denominator already that's there? Yes, so we can join them together into one single fraction. And then I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you want me to do it the intuitive way where you just subtract the quantities as is with your brilliant brains, or do you want me to do it the way where I write it in parentheses first? How about, should I do parentheses first?
Parentheses.
So it's x squared minus 4 minus, and then why do you have to put it in parentheses though? Why do you have to put it in parentheses? Yep, because when you're subtracting a group of things, you have to subtract it as a group, not as individuals. So you have to put it in parentheses so that you're subtracting the whole group. Now what happens next? Then you distribute the negative, so plus, and the negative becomes a positive, so we go like that. Crazy. So it's x to the second minus 4 minus 38 plus x over that. So that's a couple extra steps, but now I think we're ready to do it. So what do we get if we combine the like terms together? X squared has no like terms with it, so it's sad and lonely. Nobody likes it. And then what term comes next? Probably the x. Then what two terms can combine together? The -4 and the -38, which makes -42. So then you're left with x squared plus 4x minus 21. Can I cancel out the x squareds? Think carefully. You can only cancel something out of the top and bottom if it's a common factor that's been factored out. So is x squared actually a common factor? No, because it can't be factored out of like the 42, for example. So even though you might be tempted to cancel out the x squareds, you can't cancel them out actually because they're not common factors. They look the same, but they're not common factors though. So is that the final answer? No.
No.
So actually it's not. So I shouldn't put a box around it yet. Can I factor something out though that might be a common factor? Well, I don't know until I factor it. So remember last chapter I said that, wait, I think I've forgotten to give you your extra credit yet, but you're not done. When is the chapter 5 due? Is it due tonight?
It's Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Sunday.
So after it's due, then I'm gonna make sure I remember to give you the extra credit on. You'll only get the extra credit though on the ones you get right. So make sure you get as many right as possible because this is like your one special brilliant opportunity to get a huge amount of extra credit. So factoring is how you do it. And that's why chapter 5 is important because that's when you learn to factor. How do I factor the top of this one? Break it apart into two parentheses. And since you're experts at factoring now, I'm gonna have you be my consultants. You tell me like how to factor this carefully. Put the x's inside. And the first sign is gonna be a what? And the second sign is gonna be a negative. And then you take the 1 and the 42 together. What's 1 times 42? And you break it down until you get a pair of numbers that adds up to 1, because we have a 1 in the middle. So what pairs of numbers multiply to make 42? How about 6 and 7?
What
I-
is this? Oh.
I just suddenly thought of them. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it so quick. So if I put the 7, oh, I didn't, oh, you mean like the 6 and 7 joke?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
So mature.
No, that's actually good though. We should have recorded that moment in class, like, we should put that on TikTok.
It's okay. No, it's
No,
not.
no.
Okay, so it's 7, positive 7 and negative 6. And then,
And guess what? There's 67 questions.
really?
Yeah.
Wait, Is that true? On which one? On chapter 6? Really? Is it 67s?
Sorry.
Are you sure? Well, maybe hold on. You know what? I might have the wrong, if there's 67 questions on it.
I swear there,
Hold on.
wow, there's 67 questions on this one.
Oh, hopefully I'm not working on the wrong one. Are these questions lining up with the ones? Okay, good. Okay, good.
But
'Cause
they're
I don't-
long.
I don't have 67 on this one, but maybe I just printed out part of it.
Sure.
Okay, so how do I factor out the rest of the bottom?
Divide it.
So I have to look at the bottom, the 4 and the 21 and those signs, right? So that's a positive sign. So that comes down. What's a positive times a negative? A negative. And 1 times 21 is 21. And that multiplies to make 7 and 3. If I do a positive 7 and a negative 3, that'll add up to 4. Now we can cancel. What can we cancel now? SX, yes. So when something's been factored out, that's when it is legal to cancel it. So remember, only when something has been factored out are you allowed to cancel it from the top and bottom.
So then is the
So
final.
the final answer is equal to x minus 6 over x minus 3. And you cannot cancel those x's, remember, because those x's are not common factors. So just leave it like that. Boom.
Good.
Perfect.
You get it?
No, because I thought the final answer was this. I didn't know how to keep going down.
Oh.
So this is fine.
So we're gonna skip number 6, and do you want to try number 7?
Yes.
Let's try it.
Does it look good or does it look bad? Wait,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
You gotta get a little chuckle in.
12x to the third minus y to the third over
To the third.
4x to the second
Going your phone as well.
minus, no, is this what yours, does yours say something similar to this? 12x to the third minus y to the third, 7, yeah.
Uh,
4x squared minus,
mine says, like it says 27 over something and
Is that just a?
it says and?
Yeah. This is what it looks like.
Oh, you know, I might have changed this assignment.
That's what it's.
Oh, yeah, so I did change this, okay, so remember, I deleted a bunch of problems from your homework
Did.
to like make it easier than it was before. So I think my notes are actually, I think I grabbed the wrong ones when I went downstairs. No, that's fine. I'm gonna just log into it on my
I bet.
iPad. Yeah. Or actually, what we could do, you want to volunteer and have me do like one problem from each person? Okay, so what does your question say?
27 over 28x. So.
And then what?
And it says and
And
then 7 over 28.
and it says to find the common denominator of them,
The least common.
the least common denominator. The least common denominator. Did I write it right?
yeah, you did.
So what's the least common denominator? So I'm gonna show you a little game you can play to find common denominators. So look at these two denominators and write them like in a box, or like to just draw like a little rectangle or something. And write one on one side and then write the other one next to it. And make sure you just save some space underneath. So we're going to try to do the common elimination game. So Well, our goal is to find the common factors and the uncommon factors. So first, look to see if there's anything that you could take out of both. Is there any number or any letter that is a common number or letter that goes into both of those sides? 2x. Let's just start with just 2 first. So right, so this is the common ones. The common ones are 2. Now divide them both by 2. So what do you get if you divide 28x cubed by 2? You have 14 left, right? And what do you get if you divide 20x by 2? Yep, exactly. And you have to keep going and see if there's anything else that's still in common. Anything else that's you said x, right?
An X, yes.
So if I divide them both by x, then I get this one would be gone and I'd have 14x to the 2. If I divided that one by x, I'd only have 10 left. Is there anything else that's in common?
Another 2.
Another 2, yep. So then you'd have 7x to the 2 and you'd have 5. Is there anything else that can still possibly be in common? No. So then what you do is you multiply together. So I forgot to cross those out. Multiply together everything that's still on the page. So multiply all the common factors. Those are called the common factors. These are called the uncommon factors. Because remember, if you want to be a good athlete, you have to have uncommon excellence. So those are the uncommon factors. Now multiply them all together. So what's 2 times x times 2 times 7x squared times 5? You have to do all those 3 things times all of those 2 things. Sorry, that's a 5, not a 51. Sorry, just a sec. So what is 2? Well, you can start with the numbers. So what's 2 times 2 times 7?
28.
28, you're right. And what's 28 times 5?
Oh. Oh, gosh. 140.
140. So the numbers would make 140, right? And then the letters would be, what's x times x squared? Correct. So I believe the answer should be 140x cubed. You can put that in and check to see if it's right. So did you like the game that I played to find the common factor? It's wrong?
I'm joking.
Okay, good.
Right.
That's a.
I know that is a lot, but you don't really have to do it that way, but that's just like a way of making it into a game, like one small piece at a time. And then whatever's left, the survivors of the, isn't there like a thing called survivors or something?
Yeah.
So it's like reality TV or something like that. Okay, so then who wants to have me do your problem next? Who would like to go next? Does anybody have their numbers up for number 8? Because I don't have it right in my notes. I think I'm like 1 off.
It's good.
Like my favorite things.
By the way, can I look at your homework and does it show the question ID? But every question that they have has an ID next to it. It doesn't show that. Oh, no, it does. 6.2.19.
Oh.
Yeah, so actually, I do have 6.2.19 on my paper as well. It's not the same number, but it's on there.
Which question?
Yeah, so what is your question?
8?
Yeah, what is your question 8?
Oh, my lord. Sorry, hang on.
That's all right.
What is 2 over x minus 2 and 3 over x squared minus 4.
Perfect. Okay, so before we can do that game or whatever you call it, do you want to do the game again, or do you want to do this like maybe a little bit different way?
Is the other way harder?
Well, it really just depends.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the game before, the game is probably harder. So what we have to do is, but either way you do it though, it doesn't matter which one you pick, you still have to factor both denominators. So this denominator is factored already because there's no squares in it. So basically just put parentheses around that one and you're done. But the other denominator is not factored though. I need to put, because the reason is because I need to break it apart into 2 denominators, 2 factors, I mean. How do you get 2 factors out of just x squared minus 4? What do you do?
X and X.
X and X, correct. And then what?
Sign. Wouldn't it just be X minus or an X plus?
Close.
2.
X minus 2 and X plus 2. Yep, correct. Because the in the middle has to add up to 0. Yep. So now we're done factoring. Now, here's a different way of thinking about common denominators. If you want to find the least common denominator, have you ever been jealous or envious of somebody else? Like, have you ever heard of the keeping up with the Joneses idea? Does anybody know what it means to say keeping up with the Joneses? Like if you live in a neighborhood and your next door neighbor gets something new and you feel envious of them, then you want to show off and have the same thing that they have, right? Like let's say, for example, if denominator basically wants everything. Everything that the other person has. So this is like your house. This is like the Joneses' house. And the people are like on the top. So like 2 is like Mr. Jones or whatever. No, 2 is like you and 3 is like Mr. Jones. So this represents like a sports car. And both of them have a sports car. But this represents like a pickup truck. One of them does not have a pickup truck. So what do you think the other person's going to want if they don't have it? The truck. So the common denominator is something that wants everything and gets it. So basically, wants everything and gets it. So the common denominator is x minus 2 times x plus 2. Because you already have a car, so you don't need another car. You just want to have a truck as well. So basically, in this case, Mr. Jones has the common denominator already. He has everything. But you have to get more stuff in order to have the common denominator. So let's do a number. Okay, who wants to go next? Who has another question? So who has question number 9 that you'd like to read to me? Yes.
It's also 1 squared. And y over, no, minus 9's under the 6.
Oh, sorry, my fault.
Other sounds like y over y squared, not with 6y.
And does it say to find a common denominator?
Yeah, these comes from.
What is the least common denominator? Ah, perfect. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. So we have to find the least common denominator. So we have to factor them first. So before you can find a common denominator, you have to factor the denominators because factoring lets you see what they're made out of, right? So like you can't be jealous of something unless you know what they have, right? So factoring basically lets you find out what something has. So we need to factor that one into 2 pairs of parentheses. And it's going to be y times y, then -3 times +3. How's that? Does that look right? Then it's going to be the second one. Now this one has a different style of 1. It has a perfect square in the bottom. I don't know exactly how you could tell that, so I'm going to pretend like I didn't know it was a perfect square. So the y squared would break apart into y times y, and then I'd keep a negative sign. Negative times positive is a negative, so that'd be another negative sign. 1 times 9 is 9. And then 9 breaks apart into 3 times 3. If I put 3 on both sides, it would make a -6, right? So now that it's factored, now we're ready to play the jealousy or envy game or whatever. The game where you want everything and get it. So what would the LCD be? Well, this person has a car or whatever, right? So the LCD would want to have a car as well. Well, and this person has a truck, so the LCD would want to have a truck as well. Except this person has 2 cars. So if you're really, really super, super jealous, you would want to have 2 cars. You wouldn't be satisfied unless you had as much as everybody else had. So like in order to be the neighbor that had everything, you would want to have 2 cars and a truck.
It's Y, not X, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's actually, I just made one of the most common mistakes. when you're doing algebra problems, remember if they change a letter to be like Y, don't use X like me. There we go. Perfect. So that's the LCD is Y minus 3 times Y plus 3 times Y minus 3. Crazy. Wow. So does that help? And feel free to check that answer and see if it works. Did it work? Great. Okay, let's try number. Who would like me to help you with number 11? I mean, number 10. My fault, my fault.
Is it private?
Does anybody else have 10 who hasn't gone yet? Does anybody else? You do? Okay, perfect.
For X. Well, it's 2x squared.
So this one says 6 over X plus 7 over 2X squared. And let me move that to another page. 6. Oh, wait, there's a 6, 7 again. Wow. So 6 over X plus 7 over 2X squared. So this is adding. Except, why do you think that they just had us learn about common denominators a few minutes ago? Because when you add things, you can't add them until you have a common denominator. So in this case, they're asking us to do something impossible, right? Because you can't add something if it doesn't have a common denominator. So we're just stuck forever that this can't be done. Is that right? No, because we just learned how to find a common denominator. So let's look at those denominators and try to find a common denominator. So what's the common denominator? Anybody already know? That's not a fair question. So let's play. Do you want to do it with a jealousy game or do you want to do it with the crossing out game? To find
Jealousy.
jealousy. Okay, so let's play the jealousy game.
Yeah.
So how many X's does the first one have? It has 1, right? So to have a common denominator, you'd have to have at least 1 X. And so that X is like a car, right? So one's a car. But then there's a 2. The other denominator has a 2. That's like a truck or whatever. So it needs a truck as well. But this side has 2 cars though. So the common denominator is not going to be satisfied with just 1 X. It wants to have 2 of them as well. Because it has to have at least as much. That's what they call it, the least common denominator. It has to have at least as much of everything as anybody else does. So it has to have 2 X's and it has to have at least 1 truck. So the LCD is going to be X times 2 times X. And what does that make? 2X squared. Right. Now, in order to get a common denominator, you have to basically make the neighbor who has less buy more things. So the neighbor that only has 1 car needs to get a couple other things. They need to get a truck, which is a 2. So I'm going to add, now what you add to the bottom, you have to add to the top, right? Because somebody has to pay for it, right? So if you get a truck in your denominator, then the person up on top has to pay for it by adding a 2 to the top as well. And then you also have to get one more car, right? So you have to multiply by an X on the bottom and on the top. Now, what is 6 times 2 times X? 12X. So the top is not going to be 12X, and the bottom is going to be X times 2 times X, which is 2X squared. And then plus, and this one is still the same. Why did that one stay the same? Because that one already had everything. It already had 2X squared. So now I have 12X over 2X squared plus 7 over 2X squared. How do I combine those together? Just join them, they're in common, so they're a team now. So 12X plus 7. Boom, just add the tops together as well, and then you're done. So the answer is 12X plus 7 over, wait, did you read your question to me or did I do my question? Really?
The exact
Did
same
you
one.
get the same one or something?
I got the same, well, okay, the top of mine is the same as one on my page, but the bottom is different, so. So it should be 12X plus 7 over 2X squared. Any questions? Perfect. Okay, so who wants to do, I've already forgot which one this was. Was this 10? Who wants to do number 11? If it says 67 again, I'm gonna be weird. 11, so who wants to, Who wants to read your number 11 to me? Does anybody else have a homework question ready to read? Yes,
So it's 3/x-2. And then plus 4/x.
plus 7. Perfect. 3/x-2 plus 4/x+7, right? So this one is actually one that is a little bit harder, but they're starting with like a simple example of a harder one. So those denominators they are already factored out because there's only one x inside of each denominator. So it's just, you can put parentheses around them to just show that they're factored already. Then, I guess I don't need to necessarily go into the whole detail about the trucks and the cars and stuff again, but basically, this denominator, the first denominator has the x minus 2, but what does it not have that the other denominator does have? It does not have an x plus 7. So would it be fair to say that if it was jealous, it might want to have what the other denominator had, right? So let's go ahead and give it what the other denominator has by giving it an x plus 7 in the bottom. What you multiply by in the bottom of a fraction, you have to multiply by on the top. Both sides have to get the same thing. And then the other fraction now, it's jealous of what it doesn't have in its denominator. So what factor is not in the denominator of the second fraction? The second fraction does not have an x minus 2 in it. So it's jealous of that. So now we're going to give it what it's jealous for. So it needs an x minus 2 on the bottom side and on the top side. Now they both have the same stuff in both denominators. So now they're both friends and they both are rich and happy. And they go start like a country club together and they're friends now. So they're going to join together. Wait, hold on though. There's one actual disagreement. It doesn't really matter though, but do you want me to write the x minus 2 first and then the x plus 7, or should I write the x plus 7 first and then the x minus 2? It doesn't matter. You can do it either way, but just which one do you prefer? I guess I'll just do the x minus 2 first and then the x plus 7. And now what goes on top is 3 times x plus 7 plus 4 times x minus 2. So you join them all together into one common fraction. There we go. And then you simplify the top. Now, by the way, don't simplify the bottom. Leave the bottom factored out. So 3 times x on the top is 3x. 3 times 7 on the top is 21. 4 times x on the top is 4x. 4 times negative 2 on the top is negative 8. There we go. Now combine the like terms on the top. So which terms like each other? The ones that are like have common things in common. So 3x and 4x, they like each other, so you add them together. 7x. 21 and negative 8, they're both just regular numbers, so they like each other, so they're going to add together. 21 plus negative 8 is 13, right? Whoops. Oops. I didn't mean to write equals. My fault. Now, positive 21 plus negative 8 is positive 13. And now you keep the bottom in factored form. I think that's what the instructions say. Let me check. Well, it doesn't say, but it wants you to, I think. Yeah, leave it in factored form, I'm pretty sure. That just means keep the bottom part factored out. That's what that means. So there's that. Okay, who would like to maybe try to do one more question?
Oh, let's do one more. One more.
Okay, so do you want to do, who wants to read me number 12? Go fast. Who's ready to read me number 12? If you want to do you have one? Do you want to, you can, in fact, I'll even let somebody do repeat if there's nobody else. Yeah.
I have one.
Okay, so who are you pick one?
Go ahead. No,
That's kind of difficult.
it's fine.
It's 5x over x squared minus 4
And then
minus 6 over, wait, sorry. It's 6 over 8 plus 6. No, come out.
6 over 8 plus 8.
X plus 8.
X plus 8.
It's OJ. I did. I apologize.
That's all right.
X minus-
Okay, so 5x over x squared minus 64 minus 6 over x plus 8. Is that right? So we're gonna, that one needs to be factored. This one is already factored as is. So it's gonna be 5x over, break this apart into -8 and +8. And then you keep that one the same because it's just, doesn't have much. So 5x over those two factors and 6 over those two factors. Once you factor them out, then you can see what's inside of both denominators. The second denominator, though, is going to be jealous of something. What does it not have? It does not have x minus 8. It wants that x minus 8, so we're going to give it what it wants. And so now it's a common denominator. Now, both denominators are the same. They're in a different order, but they still have the same things in them. So I'm going to go ahead and, by the way, let me switch to black so it's easier to read from far away. So the denominator is going to be x minus 8 times x plus 8. The numerator is going to be 5x minus 6 times x minus 8. Like that. And then you distribute the -6, so it equals 5x minus 6x plus 48. I was hoping it'd be 67 again, but there we go. And then 5x minus 6x is -x. It's equal to -x plus 48 over x minus 8 times x plus 8. Once again, I'm pretty sure you can leave the bottom in factored form. And then you just leave the top in non-factored form. So how's that? Did you check it? Well, I guess you'll have to check it, but that's right. Well, good luck, everybody. By the way, let me just check the attendance again one more time in case anybody got